Oh yeah. Day Friday. I'm eating Friday's fruit on Friday. I'm going to come to you on a short video, maybe. Maybe it'll be short. It might be long, but let's say it's going to be a real short one. And I'm not talking about Christ this morning. I'm talking about the United States. I'm finally fed up with this pushing and shoving up in Congress and the White House. Washington is full of nothing but demons. I'm fixing to demonize Washington. Our governor here in Texas, for instance, made a statement when Obama was elected. Obama went to trying to run Texas, and our governor told Obama he would take Texas out of the union if he wants to start playing games, because Texas is self-sufficient. We don't need no other state, no other country to help us here in Texas. Texas is self-sufficient. You notice all of the big jobs is big companies are building here in Texas. And the other day, they told our governor they were going to sue him because he was going to have prayer service. You ever heard anything as crazy as that in your whole life? We gonna sue you because you fix to have prayer service. When the Constitution of the original Constitution, when the Constitution of the United States was written after prayer, everybody that name is on the Constitution prayed that week of the Constitution. Every day they prayed. And then our government come up with this separation of church and state. A bunch of nonsense. When the forefathers was praying as they wrote the Constitution. It's a sad day in America. We have kicked God out of everything. And I want to talk directly to the voters. You see who you done put in office? An Antichrist. I'm talking about the White House. The Antichrist. The forerunner. He's a forerunner. Why you make such foolish statements? Anybody works against Israel, Barack Obama on his map have chopped Israel up and give it to the Palestinians. When the Palestinians are already living in Israel, and I'm talking about outside of Jerusalem, God gave all that land to the Jews. Even where all the Palestinians are living, God, that's Israel. That's Jerusalem. God gave all that land to the Jews. Barack Obama have chopped it up. That's why Netanyahu told Barack Obama, this is where you get off, President. When Netanyahu came to the United States, he laughed at Barack. He said, Barack, what in the Hell are you talking about? Give back the land. They're already living on land that God gave us. Now I'm going to say some strange things. You're always talking about how blessed America is and how we pray and we do live for God. Do you know we have kicked God out of everything, including the church? We have kicked God out of everything. What comes after you kick God out? Babylon. Now, this is Babylon. The United States is Babylon. The great whore is going to fall. Nikita Khrushchev used to lead Russia. When he put the missiles in Cuba, Kennedy told him, we're going to war. if you don't get these missiles out right now. Kennedy lined up ships, and we was ready to go to war. And Nikita Khrushchev said, I'm dealing with a young fool. I better back down. He ain't playing. He done sent 1 trillion ships and airplanes coming after me. Let me back this down. But Nikita Khrushchev, as he was running, he looked back and said, I got fruit in my mouth, and I'm going to cut this video eating this fruit. He said, I tell you what, John Kennedy, with your powerful self, America will fall, and we don't have to fire not one shot. America is going to fall from within. Our enemy, a prophet. You ain't nobody on this planet will call Nikita Khrushchev a prophet. Now you go and look at America now. We can't agree on nothing. We can't agree on nothing. We kick God out. We prime for a fall. We prime for a fall. So it's not nonsense to keep praying, but the wrong people are praying. God don't hear you. God don't hear you. I know y'all tired of me and my son Jerome talking about if my people.
Say it again, bro.
If my people. America is the great Babylon. When you read in the Bible, you always put Iraq as Babylon. America is the great Babylon. The great whore is riding America. The Mexicans have taken back old Mexico. Oh, Jewel, they always had old Mexico. Old Mexico used to run all the way up through Colorado, almost up to Canada, California, Phoenix, well, Arizona, California, Oklahoma, Texas, all those states line up. Used to be Mexico. Just like Nikita Khrushchev said, the Mexicans took it back without firing one shot. Man, you can't go to the restroom no more unless there's a Mexican sitting in there in your own house. America is falling. When you see that angel said the great whore have fallen, it's talking about America, people. Everybody talking about, is America in the Bible? Is America in the Bible? Yeah, America's in the Bible. America is the great whore. When you kick God out of schools, churches, the White House, you turn everything into a whore. Do you know what the word whore means? It's not a woman giving of herself. A great whore gives up everything. That's America. Now, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You gonna keep sitting around looking funny and talking about God, I know this and that, but God is with me. God is with me. God is with me. Let's find out today, not tomorrow, is God with you? After you see this video, call God. Dare him to show himself in your life today. Today. Everybody sitting around waiting on an answer for 10 years. That ain't God. That ain't God. Nowhere in the whole entire Bible did any prophet say anything or pray to God and had to wait over 5 minutes on the answer. That's what don't nobody tell you. God moves for his people. God is a right now God. He's a just God. If my people. Who's God's people again? Are you breathing? Did he wake you this morning? That go to show you he still loves you. Call on him sometime today and find out. Push him, hit him, jump on him. See if he gonna respond. I'm gonna say this, and God, if God get angry at me, he just angry at me, not y'all. If you prod God and he don't give you some kind of sign today, there's something wrong with the God you serving. God, you pray to God today and you waiting on an answer and it show up 10 years from today. Oh man, come on. I told Jerome a story about my mother and how I learned about God when I was a child. I used to watch, and my mother couldn't read. I taught, here's a strange phenomenon. I taught my own mother how to read, and I taught her out of the Bible. And then my mother used to stand up and read in church out of the Bible. I taught her songs to sing at church. She would sing those songs. And what would amaze me most of all, I saw God move. Every time my mother moved, God moved. My mother could pray and God would answer her prayer right now. I've seen it. She's passed and gone on. I saw it so many times it was frightening. And so I told God one day when I was out there in that cotton field, I told God, I said, now, I seen my mother praying to you, and really, I don't know nothing about you. I said, but I can tell you this. If you're God, get me out of this cotton field. And you know what he did? He got me out of that cotton field. I was 7, 8 years old. God got me out of that cotton field and put me on a bus with my 3-year-old brother. I was 7 and my brother was 3. And God put us on a bus by ourselves and sent us to Dallas. And when we got to Dallas, my mother worked for some Jews and we couldn't live there. They didn't want niggers. Okay? They didn't want niggers in the house. Run us off. My mother went down on her knees and prayed and called a taxi cab. And so the taxi picked us up and off we go. And she told the taxi cab driver, she said, I done already prayed and I don't have nowhere for my boys to live, and I prayed and I'm waiting on an answer. And the taxi cab driver, he was driving and he turned around and he looked at my mother. He said, I got the perfect place for these 2 boys. He carried us over to this old man's place, black guy, and he ran a motel. He owned a motel. And he looked at us and he said, lady, my prayer have been answered. He said, I've been praying for, I don't have no children, no wife. My prayer have been answered. Give me these boys. A total stranger took me and my little brother in, fed us, clothed us, and dared anybody to touch us. A total stranger. To this day, I look back at my mother's prayers. Every time she prayed, she prayed off tornadoes, wild bulls, on and on and on. All of her problems, she take them to the Lord and leave them there. She wouldn't pick them up, she leave them there. How many times you prayed to God and went try to fix the problem yourself? See there? I'm through with it.